guest is one of the founding members of Monty Python's Flying Circus. He has influenced an entire generation of comedians, particularly myself. Please welcome a true idol by the name of Eric Idle. Fantastic.
Well, thank you, darling. I dressed up for you specially.
Well, I mean, look at this. Everything's an interesting color, isn't it?
I love colors.
Well, I know.
Colors.
And what I like...
You, of course, love gray.
No. And you know what I like about your color thing? You don't feel anything really has to go, which I think is fun.
I love that, too.
Now, I was told by one of these segment producers this afternoon
One of these?
One of the many segment producers, we have many of them, that you are a huge fan of the pre-interview that happens before every
Yes, I
show.
don't know whether people know about that. Do you think the audience know that?
I should explain it.
Go on, then.
No, you go
Sure, sure. No, you talk.
No, I want you to talk.
I'm just a guest here.
All right.
That didn't stop me.
No, I know.
No, before, you know, usually before, in all these shows, they have what they call a segment producer, and what he or she does is that they talk to a guest in advance and kind of, you know, plan areas of conversation within the limited time we're out here. And most people sincerely despise it, wouldn't you say?
Well, the difficulty is what happens is you talk to these people and they're not very well paid and they're, you know, and they talk to you for a long time and you start to relax and give them little anecdotes and then they write them down and then they feed them all into questions for the host. And then when you do the show, you're supposed to remember what you said. So it's like being in a bad play. You haven't kind of rehearsed enough.
Yeah.
So I don't mind going on and talking, but I find it very difficult to remember what I said. In fact, when I rehearsed this bit before, it went much better.
You can't even rehearse the bit. Okay, but we know each other enough to say, I can say, tell the story about the Paul Simon story. Tell that story.
Yes. Well, this is where Paul Simon saved my life in a sort of way.
Yes. How did he save your life?
I was in hospital. I was filming, and I was in hospital, and I'd had an operation. It all went a bit bad, and I was solid and locked. And I've been, you know, I was desperately not going to the toilet for several days.
Locked, you mean?
Locked and blocked.
Yes. Locked and blocked.
I was on the phone to him, and he was in New York, and I was in London, and he said something really very funny. And I just farted for 3 minutes. I said, thank you very much, you just saved my life. And he said there's two things he's proud of. One is writing Bridge Over Troubled Water, and the other is, you know, making me fart, which is...
You know, he told that same joke at his free concert in Central Park, and it wasn't pretty. I mean, the same reaction happened, but in that mass of people, it's well, you're more than feeling groovy. You see, if that many people in the same reaction happened, you can imagine. You've written a book. About you writing a book, Eric.
This is a book about comedians and how strange and screwed up they are, Marty.
It's called The Road to Mars by Eric Idle.
Yes.
We once had dinner where he would not, I said that I had a happy childhood and he wouldn't believe me. He said, you're lying.
Well, I didn't say you were lying,
Yes, you
but
did.
The comedians tend to be the product of maternal abandonment. They're very screwed up people, because it's a very odd thing to do, to stand up in front and make people bark. It's a very odd thing to do for a living. And all comedians are slightly weird. In fact, not slightly, they're very, very strange, aren't they?
I don't think you know, but I mean...
can't say.
Yeah, you know,
I'm not allowed to.
Strange? Have you met any non-strange comedians? No, they're all screwed up.
No, they're a little screwed up. But this book isn't about a comedian, is it?
It's about two comedians.
That's what I mean. It's about two comedians.
Thank you. And one's a white-faced clown and the other's a red-nosed clown, because there are two types of comedian. There's the comedian who uses his brain and is very cutting and is distant and is controlling.
Chris Guest, I'm sorry.
Chris Guest.
Are you okay?
John Cleese, I think you said John Cleese.
I said John Cleese.
John
Sorry,
Cleese.
And then the red-nosed clowns who you love, and they're always talking about the body and making body language and, you know...
Marty Short.
Marty Short or Robin Williams, that sort of comedian.
Yeah,
See?
you know, the demonstrative thing. So there's the subtle, there's the
one's
clever,
about the body.
and there's the cheap.
Well, if you like. One's about the body and one's about the brain. And they both come at comedy from different directions.
But this is about a robot.
This is about a robot who works for two comedians and he can't understand what it is that they do. So he tries to understand, thank you. He tries to understand what comedy is and why human beings like to laugh and what it's all about.
So it is a kind of a Steven Seagal vehicle, I would say, a robot of the 22nd century. Well, if you no, I mean, it's
Is he going to wear that fabulous coat that he wears?
The robot is actually a Bowie clone. It's actually a Bowie clone. He looks like David Bowie in 1983. It's
and is this going to be made into a film?
I hope not.
Finally a book that is not made into a film. Wouldn't that be something?
It'd be great for me.
Yeah. Would you play something for us as we go to commercial, because they're holding up a sign we have to go to commercial? We have this guitar here specifically.
Yeah.
Because of all, you know, there are many songs that you've written. You wrote, I would say, what most of the songs.
An anthem.
Yeah. And possibly one of my favorites you do for us right now.
All right, I'll try it.
Eric, I'm going to commercial.
Oh, good. Some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, grumble, give a whistle, and this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Thank you. Always look on the light side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. Hey, always look on the bright side of life.
We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor.
Coming up later on the Martin Short Show, expert spinner Chad Lowe.